Well, following their victory at the 2023 Rugby World Cup in France, the Springboks are back home. The Webb Ellis Cup trophy tour will start in Gauteng on Thursday. And joining me in studio to unpack this historic back-to-back victory is SABC senior sport reporter Mduduzi Ndlovu. Thank you so much, Mduduzi, for making time. I mean, the nation has been behind the Boks since day one, even after that loss to Ireland, those marginal victories to France and England. The saga surrounding Bongimbo Nambi, they were there till the very last minute until they lifted the trophy.
Good evening, Koli. Good evening to the viewers of SABC News. Yes, Koli, the support, Siya Kolisi spoke about it. He has been speaking about it even during the tournament. That they are watching the videos from TikTok and all other social media platforms from South Africa, where South Africans are fully behind them. They say that support is the one thing that was pushing them, unlike in 2019, whereby they say they were playing for themselves as a team to get together, to have that unity. And in support of the then coach, that is Erasmus, for the decision, the bold decision of going for Siya Kolisi as the captain of the team in 2019.
All right, I think let's now play that clip which talks about the unity that Siya Kolisi, the captain of the Springboks, spoke about and the understanding amongst the players.
When we talk about transformation, it's not about numbers, it's about people actually, them changing from inside, you know, and understanding each other's culture and learning to mind each other. So yeah, that's what made it so special for us as a group. And then even ululating is just beautiful. Yeah, so you can call him for bookings for Emikidi and all those sort of things.
And that is the leadership that we talk about him too.
Yeah, that's the unity that he was talking about in the team. Doesn't matter where you come from, where you grew up, but when they are there, the camaraderie in that team, it's just something else. He was also saying before that, in that clip I cut out, there's something, because it was going to be longer, talking about Jesse Kriel yesterday when they were leaving the hotel at night. Jesse Kriel was leading the Gwicho down the stairs, and I had the privilege to see that video on TikTok on Siya Kolisi, where he was filming Jesse Kriel just leading that Gwicho. It tells you a lot about they are learning about each other's culture.
Absolutely, and you know, even in that moment when Cheslin Colby couldn't even watch the last 9 minutes of the encounter, just Siya coming through, you know,
just
in that
embrace,
moment, just to embrace him and just to be a part of that moment. I want us now to touch on something that is maybe a little, I don't know, taboo. You know, when we look at the World Rugby Awards that took place a day after the final, what do we make of the decisions that were made in Paris?
South Africa against the world, or should I say the world against South Africa? Because, I mean, it doesn't make sense for me. The world champions, not even a single one from the world champions team won anything from the awards ceremony. And then only one team out of 15 made it to the team of the tournament. No, that's, for me, it's just taboo, like you said. It's really taboo. It was not expected. A winning team, the champions, Coach Jacques Ninaba, the decisions of the split decisions of 7-1, those bold decisions, some were questioning those decisions, but they worked for South Africa. He was supposed to be getting something just to say, wow, you did very well for your team, leading them to this victorious encounter in France on Saturday evening.
Absolutely, and despite how things went in terms of those World Rugby Awards, we look at those visuals there when South Africa defended the Webb Ellis. A lot of people thought it would be something very difficult to do when you consider the group that they were in, when you consider how much New Zealand also wanted this, but against all odds they did it. Siya Kolisi becoming only the second captain to win this back-to-back. This is a moment in history that we will never ever forget.
Siya is talking about one thing, and one thing he spoke at the airport about this victory being for South Africa. Let's just see here from Siya Kolisi.
We always play for South Africa, but we wanted to make sure that this one is for the people of South Africa. This one is for every single person in South Africa. Rich, poor, it doesn't matter, and it doesn't matter where you come from, because of the team that we have, which is very diverse team, which is very beautiful as well. We all come from different walks of life, different races. Even though, you know, we come from different walks of life, we had a coaching staff who knew how to align us as a group, who knew how to put us together so we can focus on one thing.
And it was all about focusing on one thing, and that was the ultimate victory. Duduzi, I know that we are all celebrating. The trophy tour, the national trophy tour is going to be upon us, but we can't help but look at the next 4 years, the next World Cup that will be in Australia. And we look at what's going to be happening now. Siya Kolisi going back to France to play for Racine, and of course for coach Jacques Nienaber. He leaves the setup to go to Leinster. What does this then mean for the team?
I just heard yesterday that the director of rugby, that is Rasmus, will take on interim basis, take over the coaching role at the Springboks, because he's contracted until 2025. So until we find the next coach, he'll be taking the reins as the next coach of South Africa. So Nienaber will be gladly leaving, and so is Siya Kolisi. He deserves the break to go overseas. He signed a 2-year contract with Racing 92, so we will be seeing them and bidding them farewell after the trophy tour that starts in Pretoria on Thursday. They'll be starting at a hotel at Hatfield. That is Thursday morning, heading to the Union Buildings to hand the trophy to President Cyril Ramaphosa at around 8:30 a.m. And from there, going to the city center, that is Tshwane Square, where they will be meeting the Tshwane mayor, that is Sirius.
It's going to be absolutely amazing. The trophy parade is upon us, and of course, those are the details until this Sunday in the Eastern Cape.